Yeah, I need you on the daily. Couple weeks and I'd go crazy. Yeah, I need you on the regular. Yeah, I need you, yeah, I'm telling ya. Yeah, I need you on the daily.
Hi, welcome to Devos with Debbie. It is late at night, and yes, I am wearing a onesie, and yes, I feel cozy. We're gonna jump around a little bit, so I'm gonna again try to keep this tight and concise. I'm not very good at that, but hopefully, I'm getting better. One thought that I had that sort of bounced around in my mind as I was reading my scriptures is God as our hiding place, as our resting place, as our refuge. So I'm going to show some odd areas that I saw this. First off, the reality of the Christian walk is not that we're going to have this easy prosperity, fluffy life. In fact, Jesus in Luke 10 describes it. He says, as he's sending out 72 of his disciples, two by two, he says, verse 2 of chapter 10, the harvest is plentiful, but the laborers are few. Therefore pray earnestly to the Lord of the harvest to send out laborers into this harvest. Go your way. Behold, I am sending you out as lambs amidst wolves. Whoa. The description of the Christian life as we're sent out into the world is lambs surrounded by wolves. Whoa. The Christian life is not going to be fluffy, easy. In fact, he also describes the Christian life earlier in chapter 9. He says, like, if anyone wants to follow me, wants to come after me, let him deny himself, take up his cross daily, and follow me. And again, oh no, that's only when it says. So, just this image, this graphic image of a cross. Sometimes we're sort of inoculated to its effects because when we haven't actually seen crucifixions other than in television, like in televised dramas or theater dramas retelling the crucifixion. So we don't necessarily have this personal image, but during this time period, people understood what that meant. It was a shameful death. It was gruesome and horrid and bloody and disgusting. And, I don't even want to think about it. But this is how Jesus chooses to describe what it means to follow him. He said, like, if you want to be a Christian, if you want to follow me, you're going to have to take up your cross. And a cross immediately implies that there's going to be some serious suffering. And it's not just going to be like they persecuted me because I had a cross necklace and they didn't sell me coffee, or I don't know what it is. Like real suffering, real persecution, just as a consequence of sin, but also as ambassadors of Christ, we will face suffering. And many do face persecution. I'm not belittling real persecution, but rather just the Western church and how they perceive that they are persecuted. Often. There really are some, I'm getting in a pit here. There really are some people in the Western church who are persecuted for their faith. But zoom out to the larger picture of the global church, we see people who are actually dying for their faith. So, that being said, God doesn't just leave us there, laughing in our suffering. He leads us there and through there. Not leave us, but lead us. And we see this moment in Psalm 142, and it says, a maskil, or like a musical or liturgical term of David when he was in the cave. Like, it's a prayer. He's literally in the cave, probably fleeing from Saul, he is being persecuted right now. Terrifying moment. And he just pours out his heart to God in this psalm. It says, I pour out my complaint before him. I tell my trouble before him. With my voice, I cry out to the Lord. With my voice, I plead for mercy to the Lord. So he's really in a tough spot. And he just cries out to God, even to the point of verse 4 saying, no refuge remains for me. No one cares for my soul. And yet in that moment, immediately after, verse 5, he says, I cried to you, O Lord. I say, you are my refuge, my portion in the land of the living. And just declaring that in his moment of utter fear and weakness and saying, God, you are my refuge. Is just a reminder that even in this striving, even in these struggles that we're going to face and the trials as we follow Jesus, whether they be consequences of sin or the result of just following Jesus and living a righteous life in a sinful world, whether it be consequences of a sinful world or being righteous in a this is so complicated. No matter what, God offers himself as a refuge. And it makes me think of this old song. I don't actually know how old it is, but it's based off of a psalm that says, like, you are my hiding place. You always fill my heart with songs of deliverance. Whenever I am afraid, I will trust in you. I will trust in you. Let the weak say I am strong in the strength of the Lord. So, mini version of that, super quick, but it's just so profound. And as I was writing this down, I wrote down the wrong lyrics by accident. I wrote down, like, you are my hiding place. I will rest in you. And it probably just speaks to the season that I'm in right now, not really knowing how to rest right now, not really knowing what that looks like, kind of examining myself, but also realizing, like, God identifying himself as our refuge, as our hiding place, is also him saying, okay, I know you're going to face these many trials, but I want you to step back from those daily and be with me. A place of rest, a place of hiding and refuge. So just a little thought. Look up the song, it's super good. I think there's a version of Selah doing it for that tune that I was singing, but then also Sarah Groves has a version of it, You Are My Hiding Place, that's beautiful. So that's it. Have a good day. Bye.